Welcome, Comet sports fans, to this brand new series here on Mason Sports Radio, Comet Sports Talk. We'll be giving updates, recaps, previews of these Comet sports, and obviously with it being fall, we're going to start out with some high school football. I'm Daniel Pennetti here with my co-host Isaac Vargo, and Isaac, we're just a couple hours away from Week 1 kickoff. The Comets going all the way to Gahanna Lincoln to take on the Lions, same way they've started the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, last 3 years the Comets have started the year off against the Lions, and it's been a tough test all 3 years. The Comets are 1-2. They've scored one touchdown the last 2 years, but the defense has kept them in the game all 3 years. This year it's going to be another tough test. For Gahanna Lincoln, they got Brendan Ward, the 4-star going to Kentucky, so look out for him. He's a two-way quarterback, can run, can throw, can do pretty much everything. But the Comets got a new look on defense. They got Preston Estewesta, who's got offers to UMass, Army, Navy, and then we got Noah Dowers, Juan Bates, returners from last year, upperclassmen now that have all that experience. And Daniel, it's a new roster, but they got a lot of guys that are experienced in their roles, and they're ready to know what to do.
Yeah, and you look at the Comets last season, it was a lot of question marks and a lot of guys who were just kind of thrown into some spots, it felt like. The quarterback, Larson Brown, he graduated, and his brother Quinn Brown steps up. We had never seen Quinn Brown at quarterback until Week 1 versus Gahanna Lincoln last year. And you just felt like the Comets didn't have their identity until about halfway through the season. And now you have these senior quarterbacks, Ashton Schaaf and Caden Ashurst. We still don't exactly know which one is going to be starting as of right now. But these guys, they've been in the Mason system for a while. They know how to run this offense. And you hope that this offense can start out on a higher foot than they did last year, because it took them a couple weeks.
Yeah, the Comets, I went to a couple scrimmages. Caden Ashurst and Ashton Schaaf both looked really good. Schaaf did really good controlling the game and the tempo, and he was very accurate, but also Caden Ashurst on the ground, he did a great job running the football, and that's what Coach Castner likes to do. He kind of likes to move things around, be creative on offense. And Brendan Dunn on the outside, he's the guy to look for the Comets. He's going to be their deep threat. Super fast kid. You're going to see a lot of screens from them. That Colin Bellhorn was in that spot last year for the Comets. So just look for a lot of trying to be creative on offense and use Temi Anasani. He's the running back. He had some good experience last year after Sky Talley had to not play anymore.
Yeah, and we know that this Comet offense can get really creative. They went for it twice in that loss last year against Gahanna Lincoln, but really that is kind of the area that really lost this game for the Comets. Is number one, they fumbled the ball once, they turned it over, and then they went 7 for 14 on third downs. You're not going to win a game when you're going around 0.5% on third down and you go 0 for 2 on fourth. So you know that's probably been a good point of emphasis this week, is that those big plays and those third and threes, those things like that can be detrimental to a team if they are not able to convert on that. But I like what you said about this defense earlier. They got some guys returning, even though some of the seniors, Liam McMahon to Toledo, Kai Wolfolk to Army, they lost a couple of these guys, but they still have some of these prominent stars. Juan Bates, the junior, Alex Brown, the junior, Noah Dowers. He had such a huge breakout season last year, really just kind of came on out of nowhere. He returned. So this front seven, I believe, is going to be the strongest part of this Comet team. And if they're going to win, they're going to have to generate pressure early.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Two key things of the Comets want to get this done. As you said, third down conversions are huge. Just stay on the field, keep that offense on the field. And another thing is winning the turnover battle. The Comets did a great job last year at the beginning of the season. They got the safety after Gahanna Lincoln kind of muffed the ball on their own 3-yard line. So the Comets got off to a great start there. They got to go early against this really talented Gahanna Lincoln team in order to get the win on the road.
Yeah, so Week 1, obviously we don't know what exactly we're going to see from these Comets as the weeks go on. We definitely will. It's like last season. They started out 1-3, and then they go 3-3. They start going over 500. But in a season like this, in a GMC, you're going to have to start hot. Trevor Rose was able to go down and interview Coach Castner and get a bit of a preview of how this team is going to look this season. Let's take it down to Trevor.
I'm Trevor Rose here and interviewing with head football coach, Coach Castner. Coach Castner, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
How
you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me down here to get an interview. And what is the team expecting for this week heading into the game? How are they feeling?
We feel pretty good. We're healthy. I think the team's coming together. The chemistry's good. We're continuing to grow. Early on, we know we're playing, some guys that haven't played on Friday night, so we're going to have some, nervous guys out there. But I think after 2 or 3 plays, we should be all right. But we're growing as a team. We're trying to build that trust within each other. That's one of the big words for us this year is just really trying to trust each other, fully trust each other. So we're doing well.
All right, that's good. So what was the big focus point this week in practice? What was the message you were trying to get across?
Well, we're just trying to eliminate, mistakes that we can control. We don't want any pre-snap penalties. We don't want the ball on the ground. Those 2 things have hurt us in scrimmages. So we're trying to eliminate that. Just have good, solid ball security, whether we're running the ball or throwing the ball. But that, collectively, in the 3 days that we've been practicing, has been really good. But we're just trying to completely eliminate it because yesterday we had the ball on the ground 1 time, and the other time we had a couple pre-snap penalties over the course of this week. But in 3 practices, we've been pretty solid.
What are you expecting out of your seniors, out of your captains? What do you expect them to do this week?
They got to grab this team. They've got to fully grab this team, not just 10 of them or 15 of them. All 27 need to grab this team and believe in each other and say, hey, this is our senior year. This is our first game of our senior year. And everything that they, decide that they want to grab completely, I think they'll have success. And this senior class is growing as well together, and they've done a great job. They can always get better, and I know Game 5 will be better than Game 1, but we don't have a lot of room to breathe. I mean, we're playing potentially the best team in Columbus tomorrow night, and Gahanna's loaded with talent, but we're hoping to get going early, and we'll see what happens. So.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's head football coach, Coach Castner. Again, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
We'll send it back to Daniel and Isaac.
And that'll do it here for the first episode of Comets Sports Talk. The Comets go into Gahanna Lincoln to take on the Lions tonight at 7 p.m. We will be streaming to you live on Mason Sports Radio, as well as doing some score graphics in the middle of the first, second, third quarter. You get the gist there. So it's going to be a good matchup. Comets coming in as underdogs. Let's see if they can prevail and start out really hot for this season. I've been Daniel Pennetti here with Isaac Vargo, and as always, go Comets.
Go Comets.